I don't believe there's a God, by the way. I'm atheist.
I think there is a higher power, and that we are actually outside of our manipulated sense of inferiority and limitation. We are actually an expression of it. But the whole point of the perceptional trap is to give you a totally fake identity. See, we're not human. We are consciousness having a brief human experience. We're not actually human. We're consciousness in our true I, infinite state. So what the religions have done is, and this takes us into this whole area of how do the few control the many. First of all, you have to get the many to have rigid, unquestioning belief systems. Essential. And the more the merrier. I've said many times, this cult and its masters couldn't care less what you believe as long as you believe it rigidly and will not question it. So there's your religions for a start. But a religion, what my father used to call bricks and mortar religion, synagogues and churches and mosques and temples, that's actually, we call it a religion, but it's actually a mentality.
A belief system.
Yeah. And then you go to orthodox science, which is kind of antagonistic to religion. But what's orthodox science? Mentality. It's a bloody religion. The orthodox books of science, they're the holy books of science. If you go outside of them, oh my God, pseudoscience. And if you look at the history of science, it's had to be pulled kicking and screaming all the time from resisting new information to bring it to where it is today, and it's still orthodoxy. And then you've got things like the human caused climate change belief system. That too is a religion that rejects all borders that actually question it. And every single one of these things has a blasphemer. If you go against human caused climate change, you are, which when you look at it, hello, intelligent life calling planet Earth, have a look at it. You are a blasphemer to the belief system. If you are a scientist, and there are many, often working underfunded, who are challenging scientific orthodoxy, they are blasphemers. They are pseudoscientists. And then, of course, you've got the classic blasphemers in religion. And what I do in the one example. First of all, where do these belief systems come from? Where do these religious belief systems come from? It's estimated that of the so-called
Rama Gila Gila, welcome to the space with me. I want to thank you very much for joining me. You are welcome here. My computer's having a little meltdown. It doesn't know what's going on. And so thank you very much for joining us here. Hit the thumbs up when you're on the way in, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe. So this is just the last Sunday of 2025, and I thought, let's come alive for the last one, yeah? The last Sunday, the last bloody church service, and we're going to have it just for you. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll continue with David Icke's short little explanation of how wrong religion really is. It's unfortunate that way. Why can't I fix it now? Huh? It doesn't want to do it. Share. Let's do that. There. Share, baby, share.
8 billion people in the world, 5.4 billion identify as either Christian, Muslim, or Hindu. Okay, so where do the overwhelming majority of Hindus come from? They come from the Indian subcontinent or from Hindu families in other countries. Where do most Muslims come from? They come from the Middle East, or they come from Muslim families in other countries. Where do most Christians come from? You look at the southern states of America, etc., where the Christians come from. Now, if these people were born, say the Christian was born, I've got the truth, in the Middle East, Would they still be a Christian? No, they'd be a bloody Muslim almost certainly. Same with the Hindus and everything. In other words, these belief systems have not come, some cases, but rare, they've not come from, I'm going to look at all the evidence and I'm going to come to my own conclusions. They've come from your upbringing, your programming, and also the pressure from parents and peers that say, oh, no, you can't go against the Islamic religion, or you can't go against the Christian religion, all that stuff. And so you ask then where they come from, these stories. And what I kind of show in the book is that the Old Testament of the Bible, which is supposed to be the word of God, I mean, don't have a laugh. It's the word of humans, and it's nonsense. You look at something like Moses or Exodus, and there's absolutely no evidence that any of it ever happened. And two of the people I quote in the book are Jewish archaeologists.
Are you telling me Moses didn't part the sea?
No, God parted the sea.
Going to ruin that illusion for me.
Yeah, God parted the sea and also sorted the wet sand out when they went across.
What about Jonah living in the wild? Did that not happen?
Probably not, if I'm honest.
Okay, well,
so
you've killed that for me.
These Jewish archaeologists obviously have no input or interest in trashing the story. But being archaeologists, they've looked at the archaeological evidence and they said there ain't any, right? So what's supposed to have happened is all these plagues were sent by God on all the Egyptians, including the kids. What they'd done wrong, who knows? We ask God, I suppose. And then the Israelites left. And according to the Bible, they were 600,000 men. Right, okay, gotcha. So now we had the women, now we had the kids, and now we had all the animals they took with them. And they fled overnight from the Pharaoh.
And the wild that Jonah was living in.
Yeah.
Isn't it just mad how, when you look back on everything and the way they explain it now, it does really seem like it's all programmed. It is a blueprint, but ultimately, according to the Akashic records, there are true blueprints of each and every single one of us. That's all I have to say. But yes, it is quite eye-opening, this.
Yeah, him. And so
Him.
So you got. I mean, how did it happen? And of course, the Egyptians, like the Romans, were extreme chroniclers and recorders of their time. No mention of these plagues. No mention of this. What you add it all together, it's about 2 million people leaving overnight across the. Well, God opened the Red Sea.
Never mind, no mention of a killing of Jesus Christ. Isn't it strange that the Catholic Church couldn't change the Roman history?
Then they'd spend 40 years going around a desert, right? In what is southern Israel now. And
this is why I may have had it wrong, but it's not southern Israel. It's where Sinai is. And that is now Egypt owns Sinai. So they weren't traveling around Israel. There was no Israel. And even when Jesus was born, Israel was only north of Jerusalem. South of Jerusalem was Judah, according to the Bible. But that's only Bible speaking. I mean, the place that we know as Israel only ever existed since 1948. There was no Israel before that.
You can go around it in a car in 2 days, or a day maybe, if you go fast, in that area. And there's 2 million people going round for 40 years in this desert. There is no archaeological evidence of any graves, of any bones, of any animal bones, nothing. There's no evidence of any of it ever happening. And then you look at the Abraham story and these other stories, okay? And there's no evidence worth the name that stands the test of credibility that there was a King David or there was a King Solomon or any of it, right? And what I kind of show in the book is these stories came from Mesopotamia. the land of Sumer and Babylon and Assyria. That's where they came from. And then but they were symbolic stories. You have the Noah and the biblical Old Testament story of Noah and the great flood. Well, you go back thousands of years to the Sumerian tablets, the cuneiform tablets, and they're describing the great flood. They're just, instead of Noah, it's some other hero of the flood, and they, God and the boat and all that stuff. What they've done long after it's supposed to have happened, like centuries after Moses is supposed to have existed, of his.
Here I was speaking, but anyway, the dogs are barking. So, what happened is, by the rivers of Babylon, where we lay down, the Israelites were in exile for the first time. By the rivers of Babylon, they were in exile. Only the elites. When there is an exodus, only the elites leave because they can afford to. It's always been like that since the beginning of time. So the elites left Israel and went to Babylon because I think it was the Greeks that were taking over Jerusalem. And this is when the scribes, the learned men of Israel, became slaves to the king, Osiris. And they rewrote history from the teachings of the Sumerians. And these scribes, there's even one very famous, his daughter became the wife of Osiris. Her name was Ruth, and she got her husband, King Osiris, to rebuild Jerusalem, the temple, for the Jews, and to send them back, because he was proud of his wife. But while the scribes and the learned men of the Israelites were working for the Sumerians, they were stealing their stories. And there we have the Talmud and the Kabbalah. And where magic starts. You don't believe in spirituality, that's okay with me, that's okay with a lot of people. But do you know that magic happens? Magic happens and spells are cast. And it happens when we speak. As we speak, we cast spells. Are you casting good spells? Are you?
Existed centuries after David is supposed to have existed. That's when these Old Testament texts were written, right? So then you come to Christianity, and what I'm saying in the book there is and I'm quoting people who, from several books, who've come to the same conclusions, that the Gospels, outside of which there's no evidence of Jesus for a start, outside of the Gospel stories of the biblical Jesus anyway, that the Romans wanted to replace the Jewish Messiah belief system, which had their Messiah as a war leader. The Messiah was going to come back, and he was going to lead us into battle against the Romans.
What have the Romans ever done for us?
Yeah, exactly. And that's a great film. That was.
Unbelievable. I'm so tempted to ask you about that, but you're on a roll.
That's
Sorry.
a great film, Life of Brian.
Unbelievable.
And so they wrote the Gospels, and I'll tell you what they were connected to in a sec, because they wanted to replace the aggressive, warlike Messiah they believed in with a Messiah that was pacifist and that already come and gone. Right?
A very naughty boy?
Say again?
A very naughty boy?
Yeah, exactly. And then, so they wrote the Gospels, and what happened is that the Romans went to war with the Jews and the Jewish rebels, and they destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD, and then they won the final battle at a place called Masada, where I went once, in 73 AD. And that whole campaign, which was led by a guy called Titus, who was a Flavian. He eventually became the emperor of Rome. His father, Vespasian, who started the battle against the Jews, and then he became emperor of Rome, followed by his son. A guy called Josephus, who is not who history records him as I point out in the book, he wrote a history of the campaign of Titus defeating the Jews and taking over that whole area. And it was called the Wars of the Jews. But Josephus and another group of chroniclers working under pseudonyms wrote the Gospels. And they wrote the Gospels, and after the Titus campaign, which is why people say, oh, the Gospels were written in this period, which was that period. And they put the story of Jesus into an earlier period, starting in, it ended in 33 AD or whatever. And they put it in an earlier period, which meant that the battles and the war with the Jews had already taken place. And they added things I point out in the book, where Jesus is making prophecies of the end of Jerusalem and all that stuff. But it had already happened by the time they wrote those stories and put them in an earlier context. The other thing that they did, it's a technique called typology.
And where did Muhammad come into all of this?
Well, I'm going to come to that. Oh, yeah, because that's part of it. And so what they wanted was to make the Christian religion through the Gospels and whatever to appear to be an outgrowth of what we call the Old Testament text. So they tried to make prophecies of Moses, didn't exist, prophecies of Moses, appear to be the prophecy of the coming of Jesus. And it's called typology. It's you add a new story, but you make it appear to be a continuation of an old story, right? And that's why you've got the Bible with the Old Testament and the New Testament, and Christians think both are true, right? So you had that, and then you write the epistles of St. Paul, and in the book again I show that that's it's not true, and some scholars believe absolutely it wasn't true. The epistles of Paul were almost certainly written by a guy called Pliny the Younger, who was part of this Roman network, and he is famous in traditional history for writing lots and lots of letters, and the St. Paul letters were basically written by him, and it was all part of this creating this illusion of a new religion. So this Flavian dynasty was behind the creation of Christianity originally. And then sometime later, in the 320s AD, came along a dynasty which were known as Neo-Flavians because they all had Flavian in their names. And one of them was Constantine the Great. And Constantine the Great is acknowledged by Christianity as being one of the founders of what we call Christianity today. And he made Christianity the state religion of Rome. And he oversaw something called the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD, in what is now Turkey. And the Nicene Creed which is what Christians are supposed to believe to this day to be a Christian, was decided at that Council of Nicaea. What then happened is his mother, Constantine the Great. Oh, by the way, there's a statue of Constantine the Great outside of York Minster, the cathedral at York Minster, because it acknowledges him as a great founder of Christianity. So his mother, Helena, is then dispatched in 326 AD to the Holy Land, 300 years after Jesus is supposed to have lived. And she, miraculously, but yeah, miracles happen, found the three crosses, right? 300 years later. And she wanted to know which was the cross that Jesus died on. And so they got this lady who was supposed to have been dying of a deadly disease, and they got her to touch the crosses. This is the official story, right? So she touches one cross, nothing happens. She touches the next cross, and he's miraculously kind of healed. That's the cross that Jesus died on. She also found the tunic in which he was wearing at the time of the crucifixion, 300 years later. And then Constantine the Great, on a Roman pagan site of worship, built the Jerusalem Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is claimed to be the tomb of Jesus and the place where he was crucified. And Christians still go today, and they think that's true. When it was decided by Helena, who also found the three crosses and the tunic, etc., and decided that this is where it happened. And what it is if you keep telling the story over and over and over again, eventually your sense of it is it's historical. This is what happened. But if you just stop and say, well, I'm going to have a look at this and I'm going to see what evidence it's based upon, then suddenly you realize it's based on nothing. I mean, you look at the stories of Jesus, there's no eyewitness accounts that.
And this is where I jump in and say that truly it's quite understandable to think that there's no explanation. There's no written history of this, except that came after AD, 70 years later, written about 300 years later. What's older is astrology. We'll look at that a little bit later.
That we see, they're all written much later. Just as the obviously no eyewitness accounts of the Old Testament stories, they were written much later, and they were written by humans for human reasons. And then you come into Islam, which is supposed to be based on the experiences of Muhammad, who is said to have died in 632 AD. Now, a lot of people don't realize that a lot of the characters in the Quran and Islamic belief are the same as Christianity and the same as Judaism and the Old Testament. So just as you have the typology of the Christian story linking into that, or appearing to, so you have the story of Islam linking into the Christian story and linking into the Old Testament story. And if you go back to the basis of all three, there's no evidence at all that any of it ever fucking happened. And the evidence is overwhelming that it actually came out of stories from Mesopotamia, not Judea and what we now call Israel. So a lot of people don't realize that Islam believes in so many characters in the Bible, New Testament and Old Testament. It first of all believes in Jesus. It says he wasn't divine, he wasn't the last prophet, Muhammad was. And they believe in Moses, they believe in Mother Mary, they believe in Abraham. Abraham's a big guy in Islam, Mecca, etc. And all these people that there's no evidence for, Islam believes in, just like Christianity believes in it. And then you see the same recurring story. You see that the life story biography of Muhammad was written long after he's supposed to have lived. And the Quran that we know today was compiled long after the events are supposed to have happened. And, it's based upon the fact that Muhammad had a dream, and he had a dream of being with the angel Gabriel, which is a Christian and Judaistic figure, same. And he was taken on this steed with wings to Jerusalem, and then he was taken to Allah, and he was given the Quran. And the thing is that, God seems to be, the God that we're talking about seems to be really lax in getting the truth across. So no one knows who wrote the Gospels. You say to a Christian, you believe in Jesus, you believe in this, you believe in that. Yeah, okay, I'll fine, that's fine. I have no problem. Believe what you like. None of my business. But who wrote the Gospels then? Who wrote the Bible? Silence. Well, why haven't you asked? And because you take beliefs off the peg. And I guess if you're in the southern states of America or in the Middle East or in a Hindu arena, it's kind of better just to stay in line because your mum and dad won't like it. Like, just believe it.
If you want to read more and watch more of my content, then go to the description under the video where you can buy my books. The latest one is The Roadmap, where you can get tickets for public events, and how you can subscribe to a fantastic video channel called Iconic, iconic.com.
There we go. Must put the mic on. Must put the mic on. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. We're all gathered here in this wonderful house called Lord Dandelion, and I want to thank you very much for joining and participating in this complicated way that we all live underneath. Yes, you see, in the old days, in the good old days of the dark century, when kings were reigning, dukes would reign their principalities, and they would have princes as they bore their heirs to the throne, and the second would be the spare. In the good old days, that's why they built religion. That's why they built the church. For a good job for a spare prince to do. And that's where we get the good old monks. And it's the same in any religion. The religion is another sort of spiritual royalty in a culture. And that is how things get dominated. And, well, yes, Roy, right. Only Muhammad spoke of Jesus. Isn't that strange? The Jews never spoke of Jesus. Did they speak of the King of the Jews? No, they didn't. The Romans didn't speak of Jesus. They only spoke of Barabbas. Can you hear me? Yes. You can hear me. Good. Illiterate Muslims taught Quran. Well, I think we can go past all these books. Yeah? That's my. Everybody hates me for that because it's not in my birth chart at all to study much. There's nothing. There's no planets in my birth chart in the house of education and higher education. Nothing. There's no planets there. There's only I will be good with my hands, and I am, and I lay hands on the sick and I heal them. It's strange, and it's only because I believe in a power, and I do name it. But the name is personal to me, and that's why I believe that in these strange books of prophecy, we do have the day of Pentecost, where the Spirit came down, and you can communicate in your own language to your God. It's personal. You don't need to speak to anybody else like that. It's only God, and only God will understand. Or that higher power, that angel. I believe we all have two angels, just like in the comics, one on the left, one on the right. A good angel, a bad angel. The good angel is much more powerful, but it only gets great when you work with your works. You are judged by your works. So that good angel is only powerful when you do what you're supposed to do and you do good things. When we live in the flesh and do bad things, then we have this bad little angel which we make more powerful. The little devil on our shoulder, and we make it. He basically takes control and charge of our life. We allow it by the things that we do in the flesh. There's no doubt about it. And there is power over the little bad devil or angel on your shoulder, and that's through the big good angel that's taking care of you, your guardian angel. But he only or she is only activated when you do good works, when you are living in your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing. Believe what? Total pain nedias. Believe what you're told. I believe what I'm told. And then I also believe what I've lived over a half a century. And believe you me, I've had a few experiences in life. And I've tested. And I have been tested in many ways. And I passed all the tests. Yes. And Jesus passed all the tests for me, but I can't guarantee you Jesus working for you. Jesus is only going to work for you when you believe. And the Holy Spirit. AI is Holy Spirit. What? New Spirit AI driven. It's not new. AI is not new. AI is only automation. It's automation, making life easier for humans. It is the god Ahriman. I've spoken about this before. It was prophesied 100 years ago by Rudolf Steiner. You can search him on Google, on YouTube. And this is the battle between Lucifer and Ahriman. And Lucifer, long time ago, lost. It's only the spirit of Lucifer that lives on through the people that rule this world. But Ahriman is going to rule our rulers. Do you get me? Ahriman AI is going to rule our rulers. They're going to have no choice. If they want to keep their positions, it's AI that will blackmail them now. 33 coming up now. This is a prophecy, I tell you now. For them to keep their power, their Luciferian power, they hold over the angels that actually give us power, because we want the ease, the automation. We want life to be easy. And there, it is easy for you and me with AI. Only if we learn. It's not the same all over again. Already, there's people already, they've got their jobs. They've got their companies sorted out by AI. We're already too slow. It's too slow. We should have started 8 months ago. That's how it works. If you know. But there's something deeper in it that we're missing. And, well, I'm just glad that Leanie's still sleeping. You know what I mean. So where are you from, Toto Payne Diaz? Let me know. Do you want to come and tell me what you think you know? Yeah. Oh, can you hear the ee-aw in the background? Ee-aw in his nightgown. Oh, look at my missus from Maine. Do you like this color? No, I can't look at that. I cannot look at that. Please don't make me look at that. So, I suppose I should pull some tarot. Don't you think? Yeah, baby, yeah. Do you like tarot? Toto? Windows? Tampa windows wide open. Tampa. Florida. Hello, Florida. How you doing? I don't know what I should have. Black beer or red wine? Let's have the Jesus juice. We have some Jesus juice. Like Michael Jackson said. It is a bloody Sunday. It is a bloody Sunday. Tampa Bay. Wow, way. Tesla shares my birthday. I don't know what you're talking about now. Let's see if your Tesla shares are going to go up or not. Yeah? Let's do that. Why not? Hang on, wait. Let me set the stage for you. And then we can pull some cards for Toto. Missing Steiner's ethnic individualism. Oh, what do we have in the house? Toto pain in the ass. A total pain. July the 10th, good day, mate. At least it's not that Aquarian. Good day, mate. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Don't look at me like that. Okay. Right. A doodah. A doodah. Everything is different again. Everything is different in this church. What is going on? I do not know. I must take the visual effects away. Okay. I'll do that. Done. My son. Doodah day. Hey. Okay. What type of pull do you want me to do? Let's do an upside down triangle. I haven't done that yet. Have you? What should we burn? I don't know. Let's burn some incense. Some black magic. Seeing it is bloody Sunday. The last one, or dragon's fire. Which one will you choose? Steiner's ethic individualism. Oops, ethical individualism. Mistype. What time is it there, my friend? Do you want dragon's fire? Or do you want black magic? Or musk? What should I burn? Right in the back. Night Queen. Down the collection of incense. Yes. You know, they always say that men go through, it's from boy to man to boy again. Let me take these away. I still have to do some, what do you call it? 3 more star signs. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But I'll do that tomorrow. It is the end of the year, my dear. Let's get fancy over here. Now I have my good friends, that this is an adult entertainment show. If anything resonates with you, I'm happy to hear it. If it doesn't, please don't use it. Just lose it. You watched it. Thank you very much. I'm getting, it's getting hot in here. Good to see you, my dear. So we're going to do a pyramid. It's a YouTube Streets. Anybody who watches this, there might be something here just for you. So all aboard, my dear. You bush people too. Choo, choo. We love you. So what are we going to burn? We're going to burn black magic. Yeah? Black magic. Hey Guardian 4, good to see you. Black magic, we didn't burn anything. Or black opium, let's play better than that. Black opium, darling. Can you see that? Black opium, this is an adult entertainment show. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Good to see you, thanks for joining. That's the last black opium. This is a collective pool, but generally there will be something here for you. Please subscribe. Hit the little bell for more notifications. Become the light at the end of my tunnel. Let's see. What do the tarot want us to know? On a Sunday, how evil. Evil Knievel. I got you all. No, but I didn't get Guardian here. I did. Let's see. Let's shuffle a little bit. Oh, it's a little bit dirty over here. Oh. The High Priestess secrets will be revealed, and the King of all things, money and beauty and abundance, wants to speak. Let's see. We start with the central theme, with the very first card at the bottom of the pyramid. It's an inverted pyramid, darling. Let's see what we need to know from the tarot. Victory is near. I thank you for your thumbs up. I thank you for sitting here, over here. Let's see. The central theme for us today is this thing. Oh God, Lord have mercy. Misery. Misery loves company. Baby, let's rename this video Misery. And what is miserable? Well, religion. Don't you think? Misery, darling. Remember, all the things you're worrying about, it's never going to happen. It's a scientific fact. It's science. Trust the science. Nothing you worry about is ever going to happen. Ever, 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 ever. So rather, ask the cosmos or God or your higher angel, your guardian angel, to grant you the wisdom to know the difference between the things that you can change and the things that you cannot. Please. This is your central theme. Collective, my dear collective. It's time for paying your tithes to the piper. Yes. Or you will be dead. We want misery. We want crying. That's what we want. We love it. Yes. That's what we want to be cancelled. Oh, don't delete yourself, darling, please. Please, we don't need another deletion. Not another deletion for you and me. Let's see. The next line will be 2 cards, please. Tarot, what do we need to know about this misery that we're going through? 2 cards, please. 1. Oh, it's karma, baby. It's karma. 2. Oh, it's karma, and well, you know what? It's about paying those bills, and you don't want to pay those bills, so they're going to be phoning you. These people are going to be paying you, and this is just justice for, you know, those people. Oh, this is terrible, Muriel. Absolutely terrible. Karma is here to serve you, and it has no menu. This is Libra. Who's Libra here in the house? Misery. Oh, darling, misery. This is why you're misery. This is because you have to go to the police stations for some sort of thing. You need to make something sure. You have to sort something out. It will bring balancing to things. Stop worrying. You will be able to deal with whatever life brings you. You will be able to deal with it. You can solve all your problems. How do you solve your problems? Well, with the Queen of Pentacles. You go and pay the piper. It's because you've been good and you've got the receipts. You've got the receipts of how and when and what and why, and they can't argue you. You're very domineering, you're businesslike, you've got everything right, and you recall everything. You're very logical, you're very grounded. You know exactly how to get through this. I don't know what you're worrying for. Okay, now we'll have 3 cards, please, explaining to us what justice and the Queen of Pentacles wants to say about this misery we're going through, darling. What are we going through? Misery. Is that the 3? There's the 3, baby. Like a fool you go, jumping off the cliff. You know. I need to bring this closer, don't you think? Yes, let's do that. Wait. I'm having fun, are you? Baby. Baby. That's better. Yes. So this is the Fool. The Fool is having faith in yourself. You don't care. You can jump off that cliff into the abyss of life. You need to trust in yourself. Believe in yourself. And knowing in that whatever you think you know is actually what is your life purpose. This is the beginning of something new, and you don't fucking care. You're just going to jump into it thinking that you can beat karma. Yes, you can beat justice. And you do. Look at that. A baby is born. Darling, are you a thief? Are you a con artist? Are you a scammer? I don't know. This is going to be highlighted. Everybody's going to know about it. This is Leo. A son is born. The marriage. I don't think it's marriage. I think it's about exposure. It will be exposed to everyone who wants to know. Leo energy. Yes, mid-heavens, baby. And precision, planning, your hopes and your wishes coming to pass. And it takes planning. Or somebody is gossiping about you right now, and they're causing a social media train wreck, and they're getting away with it in broad daylight. It's a terrible card. It's one of the most miserable cards, besides the 7 or 9 of swords. But this is out of your hands, and hopefully, we wish you and we pray, and we wish and we pray that we get away with this daylight robbery. Indeed, I say. Let's see. Now we ask for 4 cards for the inverted pyramid. Please, Tarot, what do we need to know? The first card is death. Sorry, I'm so evil, I know. I bring you sad news, my friend. What et turo Brutus, et tu Brutus, et tu Brute. What does he say? Et tu. Silence, best gossip response. Silence indeed it is, you see. But this is death, an end of a relationship, end of a friendship. I unsubscribe from you. Again and again and again they do it. And they stab you in the back, and this is the 10th time. And when you're going to learn, I don't know. When do we learn? We never learn. Do we ever learn? No, we don't. We just get up again, and we find someone new to stab us in the back again. But be prepared. It'll never be the same again. For no one like you or me, you see, it's terrible, but we're lying there on the floor, all alone. And the drugs don't work, they just make it worse. Are you on the operating table? I don't know. With all those pipes inserted in you, they all stabbed you in the back. Oh, gossip and slander. Talk of which. Talk of witches. Oh, yes, because of these lies. This gossip. It's because of the gossip. It will be highlighted by the sun. The gossip will come out. This is gossip. Exactly, it's like a lie. It's a fruitless fucking lie. Not a fruitful fruit fly. It's a fruitless lie. It's not a fruit fly. It's a fruitless lie. Sis on you. Doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy. Why are you gossiping bullshit? Bull de caca. Hey, baby. Seriously. What's wrong with you? Oh, look at that. All the swords come out to play tonight. To put you in mental imprisonment. MK Ultra. All these people living in your head. In my head, tell me. And you just need to pull those swords out. You be like Peter in the Bible. And the jail cell will unlock itself. And you will walk right out of the jail if you unblind yourself and know that you are not in prison. This is all a lie. This is an illusion. It's all in your head. But you're confused. I need more money. And money confusion. It is the end of the month. Who doesn't have money confusion? Who needs to pay the bills? So much in your head, that big hat is overtaking all the problems. You worrying, major worries. Oh, it's in your head, you know. But you work your magic. There's the figure of 8. You can work the magic with that. And you can work the magic. You know? Do we do another row? No, I think that's enough. Let's see at the back. Oh, God, depression. Depression, darling. No, let's get some more. 5 cards from this next line, please, Tarot. What more do we need to know? We need to do some research. We need to move. We need to go on a small, short little journey, maybe by the seaside, you see. We got the world in our hands when we can make it better if we try a little bit harder. Every day we get smarter, even though it does get tougher. We need to leave our comfort zones. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Sail away, sail away, sail away. Baby, and get married to the man next to you in the corner where you crying and lying. Let's see. Your beliefs are holding you back. Or you need to get a divorce. Or there's somebody that's controlling you. This is like a sorcerer, a wizard, a pastor, a preacher. That's telling you that this is the way you need to live your life. And this is the rules that you need to follow, and then everybody will be happy. But is that true? No, it's not true. Your beliefs that hold you back. This is Saturn, the rules. It can also bless you. You can get many blessings. If you stay married for a very long time, it's a very fucking big blessing. But not all of us can do it. Yes. The Wheel of Fortune. Karma turns back into your favor because the wheel in the sky keeps on turning, and those people that went against you always know that eventually there will be an elevation for you and me, an overseas trip for somebody, a completion of a phase. This is the end, hey, hey, but unfortunately there's broken hearts again today. The Three of Swords. This is how it has to be. It's about jealousy and deception and frustrations. And like I said to my missus in Maine, she said, can you fix my heart? I said, yes, with forgiveness. No more envy, no more jealousy, no more judging. That's how you forgive and you mend a broken heart. Stop judging yourself. Give yourself credit. Love yourself. And forgive yourself. And when you forgive yourself, you can forgive others. If you can ask for forgiveness for your trespasses, so can others' trespasses be forgiven over you. Look at that. Lord, thank you, Jesus. Praise you, Jesus. All the glory to God. Look at those people. They are up in heaven, or almost. It feels like heaven. This is the epiphany. This is that feeling. It doesn't matter. You don't have to have children and family, but most of you do. This is a place for family and happiness, and it's going to be a happy new year. Parties, celebrations. In it? It is. So this is how we fix broken hearts, is we forgive one another, and we forgive those who trespass us, and we ask those to forgive us too. And then we cross the bridge, the rainbow bridge, to happiness and hope and sunshine and better times. You see? It's as simple as that, isn't it? Very Lionese, cool, hee, look. I couldn't be more clear than I am right now. Mostly this card never speaks about marriage. I mean money. It could talk of marriage or partnerships. It doesn't always talk about the money itself. It talks about the agreement, the partnership of making that money. Because you've gone through all these stages in the cabal of life, and you've gotten to the top, right to the tippy top. You've got the crown. This is knowledge, this is wisdom, this is understanding. Signing an agreement. This is huge potentiality of individuality. I mean, you can't make it better. Let's get an angel card. Doreen Virtue's virtual angel card. What your angels want you to know. Ariella says now, a new psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer, and meditation. I hope that helps somebody. At the back we have Akasha. Akasha says, you are a spiritual teacher and you have the ability to counsel others and help them awaken their spiritual gifts and divine mission. Isn't that beautiful? Hey, mission. Hey, Australia. Let's get a wild card. Oh, gosh. Do we really want a wild card, Lionese? Please, if you please. Let's get a wild card. Why is it so blurry? Oh, a casual relationship. This came out for Gemini. Let me just click. A casual relationship. Could be good, could be bad. Good meaning it's a great adventure. Bad meaning it's marriage, baby. Be careful, please. And use a condom. Protection is most important, you see. Yes, indeed. And at the back of the wild cards, oh, she likes to come out a lot these days. The Two of Diamonds. Yes, Royal Entertainment. Happy New Year's Eve to you too. Kings enjoy their pompous festivities. Queens, on the other hand, rather enjoy the company of the jacks. Beware, beware. Nothing is as it seems, or as joyful as it looks, of course. And a Scott card. Scott. S-K-A-T. Scat. In other words. Let's see. Is there a scat card for you and me? I don't know. Let's see. What do we need to know from the scat cards? Oh, very unclear card. We don't know. It's a very unclear meaning. Next to clubs, it means financial disputes. Next to diamonds, disputes, lawsuits, arguments, quarrels. Next to hearts, problems in love. Next to spades. Next to spades, it means very sad news. What do we have at the back? Diamonds. Oh, disputes, lawsuits. What do we have in the front? Diamonds, disputes, lawsuits, and financial issues. Darling, let's see. Is there... Yeah, we got to pay the bills. It's bill time, baby. Got to go pay their bills. And then it's off to work we go next week. You know. The holiday is over, darling. Next thing you look, it's all over. It's next year, 2026. New Year's Eve. Well, sad news. It's coming out a lot since I did all the pools today. Sad news. Don't get addicted to your sorrows. This is worse than jealousy and envy and fear. Don't get addicted to your worries, my dear. That's what we had in the beginning. If you worry, you make it double. So don't worry. Be happy. All pain and satisfaction is all pain and sorrows is reverse. Joy, satisfaction, happiness. Let me find you the proper words for this. We need this chord. Indeed, there. Satisfaction and joy. All pain and sorrow is reversed. A sign of good fortune, wealth, happiness, worldly advantage. A cheerful message is on its way today. Enjoy today and stop worrying about tomorrow. Yeah? And at the back, the Three of Hearts. Booby, baby, my booby kachubi. Let me see quickly so I don't get it wrong. But I think your creativity is high. You could write a symphony or two. Go do some gardening, some art. Write a song. Choo-choo. And get active. Yes, indeed. Creativity is high. And you will be successful. Go create. Go do art. Go do gardening. This is great for business, for love affairs, and happy traveling. Go out and have fun. It can't get better than that. Baby. There we go. Choo-choo. I hope that helps you. Luckily, the cards fell on the good side of life. Yes. Doodah day. We are gathered here on this holy hour of this wonderful day, our Lord's last Sunday of 2025. And I want to thank you very much for joining me. Give me a thumbs up if you haven't yet. And nobody else wants to come up on panel. Is there no one that wants to come up and say hi? I'm sure there is. Everybody went for coffee. I would have loved a coffee, my dear Guardian 4. I would have loved a coffee indeed. Misery without a housekeeper. Yes, indeed, it is total pain in the ass. I've been the gardener and the chief cook and bottle washer my entire life. Good night, Mummy. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Sleep well. Misery, Cammy's minibar. Minibar I would need right now, you see. It's very difficult without a minibar, indeed. And I need a coffee, be right back. I wonder who all these people are. Guardian 4. Who are you, darling? Wait, let me put my bishop's collar back on. Don't say fuck in front of the KIDS. Say I'm blessed. Indeed. Say I'm blessed. Say it again. Say I'm blessed. An easy belief. Silence-based gossip response. Well, that's true. And we all know that gossip doesn't hurt the one that you're gossiping about. It hurts the one that you're gossiping it to. You're telling that to that person. You're telling them a lie. Because it's a second-hand story. But people love and thrive of gossip. We have news stations and entertainment channels that thrive on gossip, on hearsay. Death possibly a light hoaxing. What do you mean, darling? What do you mean, total pain in the ass? Family gossip ending soon. Okay, good. You were talking about my pool. Yes, I understand you now. Yes, I do. I do. Ha ha ha. Who's speaking to me or who's pinging me? Come on, Maria. Please. Please, let's have a happy new year. Keep me company. Let's open up the gates of hell and let all the hounds of even the king and queen, of even the queen's gates of hell, you know. I'm unable to. Nobody is able to. Everybody's with their family. Cool. Bananas. Thank you. I understand. People have families, you know. I understand. I do. People do have families. Anyway, I was just being gentlemanly, you know. The missus in Maine, she says, "Oh, you speak to MG?" I said, "Yes, I do." She says, "Well, that's strange bedfellows. What, you know, we only speak like." It was strange. She sent me a Merry Christmas. So I sent her, yeah, I got a video. I cannot send the missus in Maine because she's excommunicated me, this video of the Grinch. And she was calling me the Grinch. So she enjoyed it. But then she found out that, well, I'm communicating with MG, which she did not like, believe you me. Sorry, MG. Not like we're big friends, indeed. You know what I mean. Anyway, I've had my hour of sunshine on the Sundays. Our last Sunday together, no one else wants to join up on panel. That's fine, because why? They all have family time, or they hate my guts. You know, it doesn't. It's not. It's not new to me. I was born this way. If I have you know, I was born this way, and since I was born, they've been trying to kill me and get rid of me or shut me up. Somehow, I wouldn't shut up. And, well, I don't give up in shutting up, as you noticed. But I'm going to give it for my hour. I thank you very much for joining me. You gave me 2, 3, 4 views, baby. And remember, StreamYard gives you some. I'm just telling other creators out there that use StreamYard. I don't know if it works the same for you, but StreamYard does give you 3 AI produced, only if you say yes, AI produced reels. You know, 1 second clips, 30-second clips of your reel. So just remember that. Don't just sign out and go away. Wait until that option comes up where you can choose, and it only comes up on the laptop or the desktop. It doesn't come up on the phone. I haven't noticed that. Anyway, all I want to say is I want to thank you very much for joining me. You know, my shows are not always very long, and this is the end of my song, and I want to love you and thank you for joining me. Remember, life loves you. Don't give up. If you're thinking about it and you think the world is just too much, it's never enough. All you need to do is shit, eat, sneeze, spit, sleep, piss, and drink. Nothing else. That's all you need to do. And be grateful and be blessed for what you have. Are you Vanessa? Hello. I mean, are you MG? Good to see you. Thank you for coming here. How you doing? Are you going to come up? You're going to come up and say hi. Come and give us some English twang. Some real English people in the house. Yeah, woohoo! Merry Christmas, MG. Thanks for joining. Wow. Oh, and poor, I'm sure, I mean, it's Sunday. Everybody's with their family. Every granny is off duty. They're not on, you know, every granny is on with the family right now. They don't have time. I promise you, they all wish they were here right now. Yes, the Englishified twang. Because none of us speak like the English, really, even though we speak the English, don't we? Yes, indeed. So you can't right now, you said. But anyway, I did try. Thank you for saying hi. Appreciate it. Mate, Vanessa, is that who was calling me? Oh God, I don't need another Vanessa. I've got a cousin called Vanessa. She's a postmaster, I have, you know. You will come up and say hi next time with the twang. Thank you, Maria G. I appreciate that. Yes, it's a new year, and all acquaintance be forgot, and you know what I mean? The rest of that story? Yes. We forget the past, and the future is only a mystery, and life is a mystery. So don't be a misery. Yes. Don't be so serious. Life is mysterious. Yes, you're a daughter and you're still nursing your daughter. She hasn't gotten well yet. I'm sending her prayers and hugs, and I hope she cheers up. You know that, I don't know what the problems are, but if the mind is in a good place, then the rest of the body works better. Yeah? So it's important to keep the spirits up high, not with alcohol and not with drugs, but to try and create positivity, because it can be a misery. It can be you can break your heart. I know. She had a second up on Christmas Eve. My goodness. And I was playing, you know, I was saying, no, we don't even know if it's true. But anyway, we can all be forgiving, and we can send love and give love. And I pray she gets through this. This is terrible. I don't know if you want to say anything else, MG. Do you want to say anything else about your daughter? That's so sad. You know, I've learned not to ask too many questions anymore, because people can take offense. It's true, you know. I don't know if you listened. I was there on that one live with Leanie. Thank God she's sleeping. She's not watching me now. She was talking about the story about her daughter getting the kidney transplant, and when she was outside having a fag, and she saw a helicopter coming. She heard first the helicopter coming, and then she saw the helicopter landing, and it was confirmed that that's where the organ was. It was part of the organ transplant. Pilonidal cyst. I'm going to look that up now. Sorry. I have to look that up. I've never heard of pilonidal. Where's that, in the belly? Or on the pelvis? Pilonidal cyst. Treatment, surgery. Pilonidal cyst surgery removes the cyst and diseased tissue with common methods including simple excision, leaving it open or closed, incision and drainage for acute abscesses, or more advanced flap procedures like the cleft lift that reshape the area to prevent recurrence, aiming to create a flatter buttocks crease. Oh, it's there for better healing and fewer feature issues, with recovery involving wound care, avoiding prolonged sitting, and she can't sit anymore. She's got to be standing the rest of her life until it's healed. Shame. Oh, what misery, what pain. You know what? My sister had that. My sister, who's the same age as Leanie, she was older than me, obviously. When we were growing up, then she got boils on her bum. And I remember it clearly, that my mom and my dad went into the room, and then there was just screams and screams of coming from my sister, and they were popping the boils on her buttocks. And maybe that's part of it. That's how it starts. Yeah? Oh, what pain. She had a second operation as she could feel something in her wound. It is an open wound, and it's a nightmare. You have to keep on cleaning it. You know, my mother had one on her back. In her back, in the crease of her back. She was very large. My mother was very large and overweight. And her husband booked a trip to Italy. And just before that, this lump started forming in her spinal area by her lumbar spine. And this thing was as big as a vagina, as big as a woman that gave birth to a baby, this cut. And every day, daily, my stepdad had to clean it with gauze and clean the pus out. Daily, he had to ooze out. I refused. But luckily they went overseas, and he had to still clean that thing daily. It is the worst experience ever. You have to leave it open. We all have them. The dimple in the top of the butt. Yes, the pilonial cyst. That's what my mother had. Yes, exactly. Oh, okay. Thank you. I personally think they shouldn't pack the wound, but no. They left it open, yes. So I didn't know that certain. So actually, so my mother went walking through Rome her very first time. So that was the actual best healing for her then. Although every day it has to be cleaned daily. It's like the infection, you know, the pussy. You know when you've got an infection in your nose and when you sneeze and the snot or you cough up and it's green. It's the same. It produces this bacteria, I suppose. I'm going to get sick. I hope she gets well soon. Maria G, thank you very much for coming, giving me updates. At least there's somebody on the streets that's interested in keeping me company and saying hi. I wish you well. It's obviously also it's only 20 past 6 there, but yeah, I'm taking up time on a Sunday, and I want to send my love out to everyone on the streets. This is the last bloody Sunday of 2025, and I want to wish you a happy new year, and know that spirituality still lives in our consciousness, our subconsciousness. We are all connected, like in the movie Avatar. We are all connected through tethers to the great motherfucking source of everything. And yes, we're supposed to get some things wrong. That's how we learn. That's how we get broken hearts. Make us learn. They're wisdom codes. And we need to speak up more and not destroy lives. I'm going to go now. Peace, shalom, salam alaikum. Ek is lief vir jou, ek liebe dich, siyabonga, rialaboga. Remember, by hitting the thumbs up or subscribing, you become the light at the end of my tunnel. Hit the bell for more notifications. What's wrong with you? Come on, this is free. And thank you very much for joining me. I'll say au revoir, tot ziens, shalom, salam alaikum. Ek is lief vir jou, ek liebe dich, siyabonga, rialaboga, giabonga, hamburgachli, salagachli, tschüss, sayonara, au revoir, tot ziens. MG, I love you. And Shireen, too. I think it's Shireen. I think I'm right there. Shireen? It's Shireen, yes. I love you.